They obviously knew what it was, didn't they?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm not surprised it's gone off.
Thing is, I feel like maybe they're gonna do this a lot now.
Fucking hope not.
You know, it's gonna be a bit of a ploy to get people over to the PS5.
Surely, because we can play PS5 with PS4, so surely it's a thing to all of it, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Why is that not loading? I'm live, aren't I? Yeah, I'm live.
Yeah, but whatever caused that to happen, there's probably something in the hardware of the PS5 that bypasses whatever that was.
Possibly.
What just happened there?
This is the one I want. I've copied the wrong bit. So copy that onto OBS. Properties. Back to that. Okay. Does that give us that? Yes. Interact. Right, I'm not going to bother with the interviews this time around. I'm just going to get straight into quali.
How long is quali?
Everybody's in. Just 10 minutes for the second one, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Just Keegs. Just try and... Just what you want, innit, when you mid-race. You had it the other week, didn't you? Clear was where it went off towards end.
The last.
Monty, yeah. And you had where servers went down and we lost Morgan and someone else at Catalonia.
Yeah. But the one at Monza last season was literally everyone in that lobby.
Yeah.
But tonight it was only a couple of us tonight.
Where's Instagram? Aaron Herbert, is that AH, I wonder? At least this is what I like about OBS, is you haven't now got two separate streams. It's kept us live on Simplay's channel, do you know what I mean? So we're still... Oh, we've got AH and Keegs in right. Are they in the right colours? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, because your laptop never drops out, obviously it sticks through it the whole time, so... Sweet. Oh, Keegs has gone.
Oh, we've lost Keegs. Could just start.
He can jump back in,
he's back, I think. Yeah, he's back in. He might be in the wrong car, so he may have to leave and then come back in. I don't care.
Just get it started. One sec, I'm just gonna move something.
Yeah.
One sec.
Welcome back, then, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for that. The PSN network have just decided to have a little glitch.
We've got a 9-hour qualifying session ahead of us.
Kieran has set the qualifying session to 9 hours.
Oh my god.
We'll be back after this short break, everybody. Stay there. Please do stay there as well. We will be back after these problems have been sorted.
Oh my god.
How'd you make it? 10-hour quali. What?
Who was it? Who was the host?
Kieran. That's because I left it open on my screen. Fuck's sake.
One problem after another.
Like, honestly, you can't make it up.
When things go wrong, they go wrong in threes, or fours, or fives. Never one thing. When it's not your day, everything has to go wrong.
Will go wrong, yeah, exactly. Alright, send me a fucking invite now. He's got the lap to 16, right, yes. Right, let me get you in first. Come on, Kevin, hurry up. Come on, Kieran. Stop fucking about. Before I invite anybody in, make me handy fucking race director and broadcaster. Thank you. Right. Big Steen, Hemo Guy, Fury, Keegs, Little Leech Master, Monkey Boy. I'd appreciate it if half that lads would have fucking appear online, but they don't. H. King Gary. Let's try for a fourth time. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in a minute. 12 because Dubs has just joined. 13 because Emo Guy's just joined. So we're missing G. And the two Phil. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Who's missing? Kieran, Little Leech, Monkey Boy, Sutty, Dean, Gary, Keegs, Mazda, Fury, Peaceful, AH we're missing, aren't we? Yeah, mate, go and grab yourself one. You what? AH. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Right, ready now. Oh, you couldn't fucking make it up every fucking night. At least my tunes are getting played. So I mean, at least when this goes off, this is what were annoying me when you were doing that thing with headphones. When this went off, last time I was streaming just from there and not this, it buffered a bit. Yeah.
Oh, did it? It didn't on mine?
Other day,
Oh, right.
when I was testing, and I didn't stream from this, it was buffering a bit. So when you were doing that and I couldn't take music, I'm like, oh fuck, it's buffering again. Gonna have a good race, Dean says. Yeah, we'll fucking see. Okay, you do. You wonder what paper skizzers on tour tonight. Hmm? Evening then, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Simplay Motorsport for round 16, the second race tonight. We are down to 15 drives. I'm not quite sure who we've lost at the moment. I am just trying to look through and see who we have lost. It looks like it's Keegs we've not got in the session at the moment. But we are away. Technical difficulties there, not on our end this time for a change. On the PSN end, everything just seemed to go down a moment. Obviously the PS5 has been released today, so I'm wondering if they're the problems. But we are back live then. So the top 5 cannot qualify, and that is Gary, Mazda, Sutty, Apex. It's been so long since the first race, I can't remember who finished 4th. Was Little Leech
and
Unorthodox. They cannot qualify for this one. Then the only G cannot qualify neither. Hopefully we can get Keegs back in as he's gone again. But we have got 15 runners in this session so far, so let's see what happens then at the moment. Andy then, who's your tip for... Yeah, the also G as well is not qualifying. Who's your tip for pole in this one, Andy?
For me, pole position for this race 2, I'm going to tip AH because he was very strong in the dry qualifying earlier on, which feels like it was days ago now, but it was he was really quick. If you remember in the race 1 qualifying session, he was up thereabouts. He was in the 48s, and like the guys who finished above him in that session, obviously out of this one, sidelined due to the top 5 don't qualify rule. Definitely going to play him into contention. So my tip for pole position's got to be AH. What about you, Matt?
I think AH. D-Bigs look quite quick as well, but Peaceful Explosion's allowed to qualify in this one, so Peaceful Explosion I'm going to tip for pole. We've got Keegs back in, so Keegs is here.
Dan Davis in the comments saying, is it LMP2 yet?
LMP2 of course at Motive Racing on a Saturday night, where hopefully PlayStation Network will have sorted themselves out. James Brazy saying, I don't remember race 1, it was a few days ago. Now, it was a few days ago. We aren't going to get the guys who we didn't get in for the interviews earlier, we aren't going to get them back in for an interview now. We're going to leave it as it is at the moment. What we do have, though, is Dean Wysocki back on track with us. We was about to say this earlier before the connection just went. We have got Dean Wysocki back with us now, able to race this race too, so let's see what he can do.
Poor Dean Wysocki's had to wait so long to get on the track. He was probably chomping at the bit to finally get his teeth into some action tonight, and he unfortunately he's had to wait a little bit longer than he would have liked to. He's had to wait an extra half an hour, so he's really going to be, I'm sure, out there looking to prove a point.
Yeah, he's going to be raring to go, I reckon, for this one. And we're going to have to see who is going to get the pole position. Just a short 10-minute qualifying in the second race, and he's a bit wiggly coming through there. So we'll have to see what he can do in this one so far. 10 minutes to see who can get pole. We've got 6.5 minutes left to see who can do what. obviously no times in a minute. The only G will be the best of the non-qualifiers, and Orthodox will start 6th. There will be little each on the back row of the grid with Sutty, and then Gary and Master just in front of them two, and Orthodox and G then in front of them two. So that one is a given. But who will be the top 12, if you like? Obviously next season, a new rule for next season, in that no matter what size grid we've got, half the grid cannot qualify for race 2. So if it's a full 16, the top 8 cannot qualify. Makes it a bit more interesting in terms of a reverse grid. So yeah, that was the rules made in a admin decision at the minute. D Biggs has so far gone quickest with a 49.6. What can AH do here?
Interesting little concept is you haven't gone for the novel concept of what we've done at Motive, I guess, which was reversing the championship standings and doing a formation lap, which is not an easy thing to implement. It has had its pitfalls, but weren't tempted by that one. Was that discussed at Simplay at all, or is it not?
It was discussed, and we feel like we're going to go with this one for the next season. Maybe see if we can get more of a Pro-Am grid as well, and then enforce it in both maybe for next year, for the season 3, sorry.
In a way, what you've done here is actually better in a sense, because you're making sure that there's still a competitive nature to it. Obviously the guys who finish at the back have still got to do the job in that second qualifying session, but it also puts the front half of the field, you know, immediately on the back foot. But it could also mean that the guys who finished at the front in the first race might end up starting 9th or 10th instead of, you know, 14th or 15th. So
it could be an interesting one as well. AH, your man, currently on pole, 4/10 out of Kieran Argent, quite surprising qualifying at the minute. Peaceful Explosion for just a couple of thousandths behind his teammate. Phil sits 5th, Phil sits 4th, Monkey Boy 5th, Fury 6th. Fury, a bit more of a second race qualifier, as we saw last week. He got himself on the front row of the grid last week, only by a few thousandths of a second lost out to Phil. So Fury's one to shout for in this race in the Nissan GTR.
Yeah, he definitely is, and he's currently 1.2 seconds off the pace at the moment. But we saw Fury at the end of the session in the initial qualifying session before race 1. We saw him actually getting it into the 1:48. I think it was a high 1:48. So he could maybe be a contender for front row, possibly even pole position. He can really get this one together.
Must be listening to us, because the lights come on halfway down the straight. Phil's got a lovely tow in the background there on Peaceful Explosion. Ian currently sat in the pits. AH as well as in the pits. You don't really have time to pit, do you, Andy, in a 10-minute qualifying? It's either do or die. AH so has gone quicker at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty much just put your fuel in for 5 laps and get out there as soon as you can. We see Fury crossing the line now. Let's see what he can do. He goes P2 with that one. Fantastic
good lap.
Time there. Yeah, really good. He always goes better in the second qualifying session, just after he's kind of warmed up a little bit. And Phil goes up into P2 there, putting up provisionally on the front row of the grid here. So very nice there from Phil. They would have had a bit of slipstream from Peaceful Explosion just up ahead of him as well. So that's what definitely benefited him when he came over the line to complete that lap. But AH and Phil currently the only guys in the 1:47s. We saw in the original qualifying session a 47.4, I think, was pole position.
I think so, something like that, yeah.
So these guys a little way off, but obviously they didn't. These are not the top 5. The top 5 from the original qualifying session tonight not able to qualify, guys. So AH currently the top guy of all of those. AH was up there in that original qualifying session as well. I keep saying original qualifying session. I just can't think of a better word.
Now,
Peaceful Explosion getting wide there out of Esmo 1 though.
People who have got pole position that are able to qualify at the minute, Keegs has a pole to his name. Peaceful doesn't have a pole position to his name, although he's up there in the championship fight. Doesn't have a pole position to his name, just Peaceful Explosion. So can he get his first one here? Kieran Argent doesn't neither. Dean Wasocki has a pole position to his name. He's currently down in P8. AH has a pole position. He looks like he could add to that, as that is one of the Nissans round in the background there. That has got to be Fury then, because Emo guy's in the pits. Phil also has a pole position as well then to his name. Took his first one at Fuji last week. So a lot of guys on poles, a lot of guys not. So we'll see if there could be a new pole sitter or not tonight. I reckon AH looks good for it at the moment. Phil has had a slipstream for a bit of this lap. Is he going to improve though, as he's about to come down and across the line? Monkey Boy and Dean sit 7th and 8th, Emo guy 9th, Keegs in 10th. With D-Biggs 4th, Argent 5th, Peaceful Explosion is 6th place, Fury sits 3rd, Phil crosses line, and no improvement that time round. Emo guy is coming out the pit lane, but I think it's too little too late for Ian.
Yeah, Ian's not going to get around in time. There's absolutely no way. With only 1:30 left on the clock, The Flying Scotsman has left it a day late and $1 short. That's a real shame there for him.
He really has. He'll be better off just going into the pits, unless he's going to help his teammate with a slipstream. And I wonder if that's the tactic. Ian not able to get any quicker, but will he be able to help Fury with a slipstream? I wonder. At the minute, though.
Oh, it's brilliant. Jamie Brady says in the comments, "Be my guest," and she says, "How can you be his guest? You'd have no internet."
Absolutely brilliant stuff. Absolute top stuff here. One man I am keeping my eyes on is Peaceful Explosion from 6th place. It's not the pace we normally see from Peaceful behind his teammate, especially. So can he use Phil's slipstream here? One lap might be lucky enough to get a second one, and we'll have to wait and see. That'll be tight though to the line for Peaceful, but he'll be in the slipstream so far. Can he improve his lap time as he comes into a scoring now?
Keep an eye on the split time seeing that as he comes on the exit. We'll get an idea of what his middle sector's like as he just gets the car rotated very nicely there, coming through that middle part. I think it might have compromised him a little bit on the exit though, because it would have been almost on its axis a little bit, but coming up towards Parabolica now, he's definitely going to get the slipstream here off of Dean.
That's Monkey Boy, I believe. Blue wing mirrors, yeah, blue wing mirrors, Monkey Boy, yellow wing mirrors, Dean Wasaki. Argent's in the pits, so he's called it a day. Dean's just crossed the line, no improvement from him. Monkey Boy was going slow, so I don't think he's going to improve. Qualifying is complete, and Phil didn't get pole. Peaceful didn't improve on his last lap, so only P6 for him. Here comes Fury, no improvement for Fury. And what is D Biggs going to do here? Looking for his first pole position. Pretty much, I think either him and Keegs are pretty much the only two on track. Still on a flying lap. I think that might be Keegs behind him. Oh no, Keegs is in the pit, so I don't know who the car is behind. It's Dean Wasaki, so Dean Wasaki's got one last chance as well. So watch for D Biggs and then Dean Wasaki. Can D Biggs claim his first pole of the year, or will Dean Wasaki? And as it stands at the moment, D Biggs currently the third from bottom person on track and is relegated. Dean fourth from bottom, even though he missed race 1, has only a slight margin, and he's gone off there, so Dean will not improve. Yeah, Lesmo 1 into the pits. He's gone. Is Fury still on a lap? No, he's slow there. No, Fury's done. So it is literally now just D Biggs that we are waiting on here.
Yeah, so it looks like he's currently 8 tenths off at that pole time. You see him going a little bit deep into the second part of our score. He's 3 tenths down on his personal best, so it's going to take an absolute hell of an effort from D Biggs.
Oh no, he's gone in the pits.
No, he's out of it. So it's going to be that for the second qualifying session of the evening, guys. It is going to be AH starting this one on pole.
Yeah, takes his second pole position of the season. Can he convert here? He's got to be one of the favourites to convert from here, I'm sure. But at the moment, it's AH on pole from Phil and Fury, your top 3. The 2 Mercedes together, the 2 Acoras together. And look at the back of the grid. G gets 11th place, Unorthodox gets 12th, Master 13th, Gary 14th, Sutty 15th, and Little Leach 16th. This is cracking. We are now waiting, because of the PSN going down, Kieran Argent has set the lobby up, so we are waiting on Kieran to ready up, and here we go. So best luck to everybody. Clear start to this one, and rain forecast for later in this race. Who are you tipping in this race, Andy?
For me, the victory in this one, I'm going to go for... I'm going to go for AH. I think that this is the opportunity to finally shine, and the internet's been plaguing him a little bit over the course of this season, but he's got himself on the top spot. He's had the pace in the drive, but obviously we are expecting rain around halfway through this one, so that could definitely throw a spanner in the works. I'm going to go for AH for the win. I just think I have some confidence in him tonight. I really think he can deliver.
One thing that happened in race 1 was Gary gained 5 points over Mazda in the championship, but Sutty, Little Leach, Phil and Peaceful Explosion have dropped further back. Also,
I just put a few after I predicted for AH.
Also, Monkey Boy and Unorthodox can no longer win the title, and Flatline Motorsport cannot win the constructor standings, meaning that it's only Forever Forward, Iron Brew, Flatline, Run Flat Motorsport, Run Flat Racing, and Leach Motorsport that can win the constructors. AH, Keegs, Kieran Argent, Phil, Peaceful, Sutty, Little Leach, Gary and Mazda all still in for the drivers. I'm sure though it's getting down to the time where people are going to slowly drop off here. So what can we see from people in this second race? Phil could be a good shot. We saw Sutty start in race 1. Could Phil get it in race 2?
About to go lights out here at Monza for race 2 of the evening here, and looks like we've got AH there lining up on pole position. Phil alongside him. Who's going to get the best start off the line here lights are out and away we go. And it's a terrible start there from Phil. Gets very bogged down straight away off the line. He's got Fury and Kieran Argent attacking here behind him. It looks like Argent got a slightly better start there than Fury. He's coming towards turn one. It looks like there's an incident there. Somebody's gone off. There's a Mercedes in the wall. I think that's peaceful. He's got pushed into the wall there. As we come into turn one now, and you see there Phil holding on the inside. Looks like we got Fury trying to get around. He's got ahead of Kieran Argent there. Kieran Argent trying to fend off.
Oh, Phil's done AH.
So Ian's up ahead of DBX, and it looks like, yes, they're Phil and AH there.
Fury's also passed AH. So AH must have had a terrible run out of the first chicane as they come into the curb at Grande. And AH, I wonder if he caught the gravel on the exit to the chicane because he got a really good start. But Phil and Fury have now done him. AH looking up the inside of Fury into the Della Rosa chicane. And Fury actually attacking Phil more than defending from AH there, but couldn't get that job done. That's Monkey Boy and Keegs off in the background. How are the championship leaders sort of doing? Master 14th, Sutty 50th, Peaceful has dropped to 16th for that, so he must have some bad damage.
Gary's made up 2 positions there on the exit between Della Rosa and Desmo 1, and he's up into 9th place. Brilliant stuff there from Gary. He can now pull us onto the back of the only G as we see Little Leech there. It's just ahead of Keegs. It looks like Gary's got ahead of D-Biggs. D-Biggs has gone off. D-Biggs has dropped back. What's happened to him? He's off on the exit of Lesmo 2. He's way down the field. This race has gone an absolute disastrous start here for D-Biggs. He's down to last place here at the start, and we watch here now G all over the back of Dean Wisocki and Eamon. But it looks like Dean Wisocki's made a fantastic start to this race.
Yeah, he's made a great move.
He's really out there with the points to prove after serving a race ban in the sprint race or the race one earlier on. And he's already up into 5th place here.
That's Monkey Boy, his teammate, round in the background, but Dean Wisocki has gained a couple of places off the start and made a brilliant move on Emo Guy into the Ascari chicane. He's now having to defend from the only G and Emo Guy. G's just going to sail around the outside line. That is how good G is at the moment. But Dean having a cracking start to this race. Dean, though, he's still going to have the inside. I just feel he's going to struggle on this bit. He needs a slipstream and he's not going to get it. Fury was all up the inside in the pit wall. G needs to stay in the slipstream of somebody if he's going to have a chance of a good run down towards turn 1. AH needs this race from Fury, from Phil, so we're not sure what's happened there. Is Phil going to look into turn 1? Is the Emo Guy going to look on Dean into turn 1? I believe he has, and I believe Gary's also done Dean at turn 1. And Emo Guy just taps the rear at G. And Gary as well has passed Dean Wisocki. So Dean, struggling in the Acura on the straight, has lost 3 places in one straight there. Can he make it up in this section now where the corners will start flowing? And also with the wet weather coming soon, Monkey Boy is in the pit, so clearly damage for Monkey Boy.
Ahead of Sutty as well there, coming out of the set of the first chicane there, so I don't know what happened to Sutty. Seems to get a little bit out of shape, but Maz dropped the position. Looks like Keegs into 13th. Peaceful Explosion with not the greatest start to this race. He's down to 14th place already here in this one. D-Biggs, obviously we saw the spin out of Lesmo 2, dropped him back to the rear of the field. But AH is still leading this pack at the moment. Fury's right up his chuff. These two have broken away a little bit, and Ian's going to have to P3 here. So he's got ahead of Phil and Kieran Argent. Ian's doing a good job at the moment. He's got a couple of positions. Goodness, there's a moment there.
Phil's had a moment. Phil's had a moment. He's dropped a few places there. Oh, and Keegs has been there on the exit of the second Lesmo. D-Biggs is hassling the back of what's happened to Mazda? That was Mazda only just flying past him. Sutty's up to 10th. Mazda, I think's had a moment as well. So what has happened to Mazda on Unorthodox? Mazda looks like he's got damage on the front of that car, at least bodywork at the moment. Monkey Boy's got an engine failure in the pits to add to his woes tonight so far. Not what he'd have wanted, but with Phil dropping it, he was having a good scrap with AH and Fury. Phil now down to 9th. Dean up into 7th again, but he's going to struggle at his part of the track. You see Little Leech all over the back of Dean there, and that could be for position. And that could be job done by the time they get to the first chicane.
Yeah, Gary's all over the back of G at the moment, trying to hassle and hound him and get up into that P5 position. You can see in the background also Phil trying to fend off Little Leech, and Dean Wisocki still.
No, Phil's just gained 2 places there. He was behind Little Leech and Dean Wisocki on the back straight and has gained the 2 places. So I wonder if Dean... I don't know. Well, Dean's obviously the slower car in the straight line, but look at the toe. He really needs that toe to take him out. Mazda's in the pits.
Gary breezes past Phil into turn 1 there. You see he's up into 6th place. But, it looks like, yeah, he's managed to get that position done nicely. Dean Wisocki, though, he's lost that position to Sutty there on the exit of turn 1. So Sutty Apex up into 9th place. You see that Lamborghini cruises past the Acura like it's not even there. And AH is still leading this race just about ahead of Fury, but Fury's still giving him a lot of pressure here, but can't quite find a way through around him at the moment. AH is doing a great job of defending his position. My prediction, currently holding off the man who I always curse when I predict, Fury. Fury's ground up was pretty happy that I didn't predict him to win this race, as you can see in the YouTube comment section.
What a race for the Nissan boys, 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Hats off to them two. Mazda is in the pits, and this is a long old pit stop for Mazda. He must have some damage to his car because he is struggling and is still in the pit lane.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there to Mazda, but he's obviously incurred some lengthy repairs. on that BMW. He's way down now. He's going to be almost a lap down, I would imagine. But here is, yeah, you can see the leaders just coming up towards the Parabolica now. But AH leading this race. He's pulled out a bit of fury over the course of this lap, Matt. He's got 1.5 seconds at the moment. Ian's trying to hold off Kieran Argent. He's doing a good job of it at the moment. He's got about a second between himself and Kieran. G there in the background trying to get this move done on Kieran Argent as they come off into the Parabolica now. He's a little bit too far back to go for the move there, but G's going to try and get a better exit here out of the corner. He's not going to get the nicer run though, because Kieran Argent is going to take that easier line out of the corner, and also Kieran Argent has got the slipstream off of Ian. So at the moment it's side by side here down the pit straight. It's AMG versus AMG. And G looks like he's got that run. It looks like both of them have got a run on Ian. It looks like we're going to see the inside here. G is making a move to the inside of the first chicane. He's going to be late on the brakes here. He's got that one done by the looks of it. G's up into position, but it looks like Ian's not going to this one up. Kieran Argent trying to fight back there. But it looks like G's managed to get in that one. And G is up 2 places in one corner. What fantastic driving from the only G there. And Kieran Argent trying to fight this one. He's pushing Ian a little bit wide there. Ian's still hanging around the outside of Curva Grande though.
Oh,
and Ian lost it! What's happened there to Ian? He just seemed to bin it on the... Oh my goodness me, he's into the wall there. So Ian, I don't know what happened there.
Got a big wiggle on Andy mid-corner. He just got a big wiggle and then just went off with, on our screens. Really big wiggle there. Kieran was giving him plenty of room on the outside. And that's allowed Gary up into P5 now. I was about to say that Gary's close in.
The inside of Team Wasaki. D-Big's up the inside, is he? Oh, he's going to try and make that move. No, he's
Let's go one. I think, yeah, Dean. Oh, Dean's been down the exit. I think Dean cut him off, and Dean took a bit too much corner speed into that one as he cut D-Biggs' nose off and took a bit too much corner speed there. Probably didn't get it slowed in as much as he'd have liked. But what this has done is allowed Gary up into P5, Sutty P6. I know they've still got to pit. Has Mazda gone wet tyre early, expecting the rain to come?
Surely not. It's nowhere near even close to that at the moment. And if you switch to the wet tyres at this stage in the race, then you're going to really struggle later on, because your tyres will be overheating so much that by the time the rain comes, they'll be shot anyway, so they won't work. So I'm sure that it's just damage repairs there in that case. But currently Sutty has got Little Leach really hassling him at the moment. Sutty had some good pace in the wet, in the dry. He doesn't seem to be quite as strong here at Monza tonight.
No, he doesn't.
We're currently seeing AH putting the gap out to Fury now, though, after Fury putting the pressure on for the first couple of laps.
Little Leach has just dived into the pit lane, so that's an interesting one. One man I'd have liked to have seen pull out, I think one man that would have wanted to have pulled out a bigger gap would have been AH, Andy. We know that caused a bit of a handful in the wet, and if it does get wet like the forecast is saying, AH could struggle later on in this race, so I'm sure he'd like a bigger gap. And the mist,
there we go.
That to me looks like the mist is starting to come down here, Andy.
It is. No raindrops just yet, but it's definitely going to be affecting the way that these guys are able to drive, because the moisture in the air will definitely be affecting the track conditions. We're seeing Ian currently hassling the back of Unorthodox, but he doesn't look like he's quite able to get round him at the moment. He might have a chance coming around Curva Grande and up towards the De La Rosa chicane. Is Unorthodox going to try and defend this one? No, he's not. He leaves the space on the inside. Ian's too far back to get that one done at the moment. Good driving from both of those guys. You see Phil Keegs and Dean Wasaki all coming in. Is it going to be wet tyres for these guys though, Matt? That's the question.
I tell you what, if it's wet tyres, these guys could have called the shout very quickly when they've seen Dean pick up the damage after the spin at Lesmo 1 with after trying to defend from D-Biggs last time around. So if they are putting the wet tyres on, that could be a cracking shout for them. Mazda has passed Keegs and Dean Wasaki down in 12th place, and he's struggling at the minute. He has Phil not far in front of him. Dean's away now. Has Dean jumped Keegs in the pits? I believe he has. So good pit stop from Dean's crew then. Mazda on the back of that Lamborghini, but with it getting wetter, is this where the BMW is going to start to struggle? Championship leader in all sorts of bother at the moment. AH now coming round. Surely he's got to dive in. You can start to see some spray forming on the back of that BMW, and yes, he's diving into the pits. We could see a lot of people pit here. Fury should come in as well. He is. G's following in third place. Kieran Argent, surely he's going to pit from P4. Yep. Gary as well is following too. I think we're going to see a lot of people pit here. The only person who can't pit at the moment is Little Leach, and that's Emo Guy. D-Biggs off, yeah, sorry. D-Biggs is off. Emo Guy and Little Leach will not be able to pit this lap. So Emo Guy should effectively take the lead of this race, although Emo Guy's got into the pit lane. He's going to end up doing a drive-through.
Oh my goodness, and we see D-Biggs there getting it out of shape coming into the pits. He's had to reverse a little bit down the track to come in. I don't know if that'll be a steward's inquiry. Probably not, because he wasn't really putting him anyone at harm.
True.
But Yeah, oh, that's going to be a disaster there for Ian. Is he going to drive straight through, or no, he didn't? It
Well,
looks like Fury
Argent
got
has
away with
jumped a
double
lot
stack.
of people in the pit lane. I don't know if they've
Fury-
changed his tyres.
Fury and Ian double stacking there. You're right. It does look like Kieran Argent has stayed on those slick tyres. We'll get an idea if he's struggling around on this out lap here.
I mean, if they have changed his tyres, then he's jumped 3 cars as he was P4 when he pitted. He has jumped a lot of cars if that is the case. Little Leach 6th, Gary in 5th. Has Little Leach pitted? Yeah, he pitted earlier on. Kieran...
No, he's on the 6th.
Yeah, he is. He was struggling into that corner. It's not wet yet. The rain has just started to fall now. So this is where Kieran struggles. Mazda didn't go onto a wet tyre. So Mazda back in the pit lane. What does Peaceful have to do as well? Does Peaceful have to pit again? No, he stayed out. So did Peaceful put the wets on? And did he look after them compared to Mazda putting the wet tyres on? If so, what a strategy from Peaceful Explosion that was to try and get himself back in this championship hunt. His teammate leads the race, but we don't think that his teammate has got the wet tyre on here.
He definitely hasn't. You can see he's really struggling for grip. He's just hesitating to put the power down. He is really feathering that throttle. But you see him coming into Ascari now. He's just got to be. It's going to be like an ice rink coming through there on those slick tyres.
Just hear him on and off the throttle as he comes through it. Yeah.
That's it. And he's going to be really struggling. AH is already almost on the back of him now, and AH has already been into the pits to change onto the wet tyres.
Now this is interesting for me.
Close.
Yeah, this is interesting for me. Will the BMW be better race 2 in the wet than what it was race 1? Because race 1, it was horrible in the wet, and the car came back to the BMW drivers later on in the race, as we saw Mazda managed to hang on to a P2. So will AH be able to hang on to what will inevitably be P1 in this race? We haven't yet seen Kieran in the pit lane. He's in now. Is G
coming in again? No, he's not.
No.
He was taking a tight line through that.
Yeah, I thought that earlier in the week when he was pitting. I was like, what are you pitting for? And it turns out it was just a tighter line in the race than making a pit stop. So AH leads from Fury. G then up into 4th, 3rd. Gary gets P4 at the moment. Little Leach, I think, has to pit as well.
No, Fury's... What's happened? I just lost the camera angle for a moment there. Sorry, Matt. I do apologize.
No, you're alright. Kieran's just commented on the stream saying it made him do a drive-through. Interesting.
That would have been maybe teammates?
No, I can't remember, to be fair, but he's lost a lot of time then a drive-through and then having to pit when he's wet. James Bracey says Little Leach has already pitted, so if he has already pitted to put the wets on, good move from Little Leach. Where's Dean? He pitted early for the wets, down in 15th and clearly struggling in that Acura. One man who is struggling in the car, though, is Mazda, P14 at the moment, and is losing out to his main championship rivals, Sutty, Gary and Little Leach, P4, 5 and 6 at the moment, and that is not what Mazda needs.
Yeah, it's the last thing he wants. And it's about BMW already struggles enough here in these wet conditions, but just to compound matters and make them even worse, he made that early pit stop having had that damage at the start of the race. So Mazda will be lucky to get a top 10 position here. He's currently absolutely nowhere in this race, and surely it's just going to be damage limitation for this man. His championship hopes are going to be pretty much thrown up in the air, and I imagine Gary will probably take the championship lead after this round.
Depending on the points difference between the two of them, but at the moment 14th to 4th. I'll double check that for you, just bear with me 2 seconds, Andy. So 14th place scores 2 points and Gary will gain 13, so the difference is 11 depending on fastest lap. So Gary will gain 11 points, which will put him, if he hasn't got the fastest lap and neither has Mazda, will put him 2 points behind Mazda going into Algarve next week.
So if Gary gains another place, or another couple of places.
Well, actually, to be fair, G doesn't score points, so everybody effectively move up one as a result of that. So actually, Gary is running in P3, and Mazda's effectively P13. So let me figure out that gap a second. So P13 is 3 and P3 is 15. So the gap's actually 12. So Gary would need fastest lap to be tied with Mazda after the drop score on points so far this season. So still all to play for and could make the championship even more exciting. It does, though, bring Little Leach Sutty back into it and maybe Phil.
Fury getting out of shape there, coming through the Delarosa chicane. And G's up the inside, up into P2. Sorry to cut you off there, Matt.
No, you're fine.
He's all over the back of him. He was really pressuring him, and G's managed to get up into the second place. So our reserve, multiple world record holder on Project Cars 2 in the D8 Supercars is up into second place. Into
this is
one
man.
Mistake from Fury was all he needed to get up into P2 there, though, Matt.
this is one man, Andy, that I'm really looking forward to seeing score championship points on the grid next season. He's came into it last week. He's agreed not to qualify, not to race the championship leaders too hard, and he's agreed to, not score points. And I respect him for that. You know what I mean? As much as he could have scored points for himself and take points off the championship leaders, I respect his decision. But this man is one man I'm really looking forward to next season. We see him have good hard fights on track with everybody, and we see him this Tuesday night over at Motive Racing with Motory Morgan around Monaco in the Clios. With Monaco on the calendar next year and Bathurst and Long Beach, G is one man I'm really looking forward to watch next season. I really think the battles on track with him and AH, Mazda, Gary, Sutty, Littleach, Peaceful and Phil, I think could be absolutely fantastic to watch all season long.
Absolutely, he's really taken to these GT3s very well. It was a category that I know he wasn't the most fond of before, but he's very much got over those little demons that he had in these cars.
The expression he's took these like a duck to water is very fitting, considering there's that many wet races here at Simplay. He's taken them like a duck to water.
Don't we do dry races here, apart from the last week at Fuji?
Yeah, apart from the last week and the last race of the season in Red Bull Ring. I think 3 fully dry rounds of the season we've had on the calendar, because obviously Imola's dry for final race and Red Bull was dry for second race and Fuji last week. Oh. Hey, you got to mix it up a bit, haven't you? You got to make it interesting.
Yeah, just the H there having a little move to the inside, trying to fend off G, giving him the minimum amount of space, just trying to tempt him to make that move to the inside, but then covering the door off. So G's committed to one way and then blocking the door. So at the moment, AH holding the position, but G's going to have a look to the outside here, coming up towards Lesmo 1. I don't think he's going to be able to get that one done at the moment. AH parking his car in all the right places, very wily defensive driving from AH, and G's not quite able to get it around him at the moment, but he's really piling the pressure on. Is AH going to be forced into a mistake here, or is G just going to have to force his way around by some superb attacking driving?
Oh, that's
here.
Fury off in the background, was just ran wide into the grass. Sorry, Andy. What we're seeing here with the BMW up front is it's starting to struggle the wetter it's getting, and G looks like he's got that move done as we head towards the Ascari braking zone here. No, he's let AH keep the corner, and G playing it patient.
He's going to get a better exit. He's going to get a much better exit out of Ascari.
Keegs is in the pit again. He has got the run here, and this is where the BMW is struggling. Keegs is in the pit again. Mazda's down to 13th place. So can he gain on Kieran Argent? He's got a lot of time to do that. Look at AH. He pulls out now, down towards the Parabolica. G pulls out, and he's going to be up the inside line into the Parabolica over AH.
Got that one done.
Oh no, he's left it. He's let him have it. Yeah, he's let it.
Oh, no,
AH, brilliant.
Still side by side here. G's going to have the inside. He gets the better run out of the corner. AH just went a little bit wide off the racing line, and when you get off the racing line in these conditions, it just puts you well out of sync in terms of where you need to be for the corner, and G just sweeps up the inside. AH still giving him a battle though. We're side by side here down towards the end of the pit straight into the braking zone. AH late on the brakes. He's got up the inside here. Is G going to see him? G gives him the space there, and AH goes a little bit deep into the corner. G's going to try and undercut him when he exits the corner, but that's a brilliant move there from AH.
Great
Fantastic.
Stuff.
Immediate response there from AH, and G in the end has to just move out of the way. He saw him coming with good conscious driving there from G as well, to be fair.
How, Andy, did he get that BMW stopped? How did he get that stopped? That was fantastic racing.
It was a hell of a move. But we see here G having a little move to the inside, coming out towards the Deladrosa chicane, and he backs out on that one. AH goes a little bit deep into the corner. Is G going to try and get a run here coming out of the corner? It looks like he's got the run, but AH once again just driving really, really intelligently, putting his car where it needs to be.
And he seems to be good on the brakes, his AH, as he gets a bit of a wiggle coming out to Lesmo 1 and has to cut across the front of G's car to defend into Lesmo 2. Got a bit on the gravel. G will have the momentum coming through the exit of Lesmo 2 then, and you can see going down towards Ascari. AH is going to squeeze him as far as he can. AH does this on the pad, don't forget. So he's doing this on the pad. He's a quality competitor in this tournament, in this league, sorry. And G has got the move done before Ascari, but AH is going to try and outbrake him up the inside. Oh no, he can't get it done. G's just been able to get on the power earlier than AH in these wet conditions. AH will have the toe down the back straight. Fantastic driving from these front two. This is allowing Fury on the back, and Gary has gained 3 seconds this lap on the front three. So Gary really on it at the moment. Sutty 5th, Littleach 6th. Phil down in 8th, and Peaceful running 10th, all outscoring Mazda in this title race at the moment. Dean down in P14. He will drop into the bottom 3 if he fails to outscore D Biggs, or if D Biggs outscores Dean Wasocki by 4 points. And I think that is the case with D Biggs 11th, Dean 14th at the moment. But the battle at the front 3, how? I mean, G looks like he's pretty much gone now, 8/10 up the road. But how did AH manage to keep it stopped at some of them chicanes really late on the brakes, that BMW? And it just seemed to work for him. Although he ran deep, because the chicanes are so tight and narrow, he'd actually got the car stopped for the second part.
Yeah, I just think he had so much more confidence than G. I just made that move on him and maybe thought he had it done, and then AH was saying, not today, I'm going to give it everything I've got, you're not going to run away with this one, G. But it looks like G's now got some clean air. He is starting to drive away a little bit. Hopefully AH can still keep himself in the hunt for this one. He's got Fury very close in quarters now as well, so Fury, I'm sure, will be wanting to pick up his first win here at Sim Play. Last week at Fuji we saw him second in race 2, so can Fury maybe try and, well, first he needs to get ahead of AH, but G's only a couple of seconds up the road. Has he got the pace to try and challenge G?
Keegs is in the pits for the third time, and Emo Guy's back in the pits. That will possibly give... Keegs looks like he's had bad damage to that car. Emo Guy 12th. That should surely give Mazda another place, depending on how this, how long this pit stop lasts. And in fact, there's Mazda driving past him, you heard there. So Mazda up into P12, effectively P11 on the night. Obviously with G not scoring points, which will effectively give AH the race win. G will get it on the road, but AH will get it on a technicality. Fury just looked like he had a bit of a wiggle coming on the exit of Ascari there, and he's kind of lost a bit of time to AH from what we saw earlier, Andy. And just maybe the slight mistakes creeping in for Fury.
That's it, maybe. I think that the fog is clearing up a little bit now, which might be helping AH a little bit, but it's the same for everybody essentially. So see Fury getting a little bit wide there onto the artificial grass on the exit of Parabolica. AH has definitely responded on this stuff. I don't know if it's Fury maybe dropping the ball a little bit though. G just does a fantastic lap there at 154. He's flying out the front. Now he's in some clear air ahead of AH. But yeah, Fury seems like he's not really gaining as much as he was on AH.
Keegs is in a tricky position here. He's just coming out the pits, and he's in a very tricky position where he
can't...
Very
good driving there from Keegs though.
Great awareness, great awareness.
Oh. Who's gone DeLorean? Someone's gone DeLorean. Is Sutty DeLorean on your screen?
No, he's not on my screen, mate. No, he's all four wheels on the floor on my screen. That's great awareness from Keegs. Great driving from him to be aware of everybody coming and away he can get going now. He is currently last and well down on Monkey Boy. He can get going. G in the 154s. Gary quicker than Fury last time out, so is Gary going to try and hunt down Fury? Although Fury looks like he's gained a bit of time to AH through the first part of the lap, although he was on the gravel there when we jumped on Gary, and in fact he's got a bit of a wiggle. Fury's off, Gary's on the grass, and he's done well there to keep that.
That was a sympathetic excursion there from Gary as he saw Fury up ahead of him going off and just followed his exact line through there. So Fury off the podium, Gary up into third place. Gary now a step closer to gaining some real points.
We've seen a Sutty send it!
That's brilliant! Sutty has brought it back to the old days there. He's rolling back the years with that one. Brilliant.
There's no Sutty safeties at Monza. He needs points. He knows he needs every point over Mazda he can possibly get. That will technically be a third place points-wise for Sutty over G. Now that he's got past Fury, Little Each will want to do the same. Gary's round! Gary's round! So Sutty will pass Gary. Will Little Each get Gary as well? Little Each in the title hunt, so surely can't be. I wonder if Gary's just starting to feel the effects of his knee. I wonder if that's a problem or whether he's just caught a puddle. Surely he's doing well though, Gary, tonight. Hats off to Gary for still being out there and doing a good job.
This man is an absolute warrior. He must be in absolute agony right now, being on this rig for the last 2 hours with a knee that's only been operated on a couple of weeks ago. It's very brave of him to get on with this and put himself through this. Whether or not he's going to be able to do this for the rest of the season, or if he will be feeling the effects too much in the morning, we'll have to wait and see. But I just want to say a massive shout out to Gary for the effort and bravery that he's put in tonight. He's put it all on the line just for the championship here at Synthé Motorsport, and you've got to give credit for that. We really have.
And although he's not going to be that 1 point behind Mazda like we said he might be early on, he's still gaining points over Mazda, and that's what you need to do at this stage of the season. Even if Gary takes a week off from the pedals, I know he's not next racing until Sunday over at the Touring Cars in Motive, so he's got a few days to rest if he wants to use the pedals again there. But what does he do? Oh, that's Sutty off in front. These puddles here at the exit to Della Rosa is catching drivers out. Little each got caught up in it. And yeah, Sooty was also off up front on the grass. So there's puddles at the exit to Della Rosa, and it's catching drivers out here.
Yeah, and also on the exit of Lesmo 1 as well, you saw there Fury crawling over the curve and getting very slippery there on the exit of the corner. You can also see the puddle there, quite a curbing just as they come around that little kink. Towards the bridge.
AH just took the lead.
Coming towards the Scullery, it looks like we've got. Oh, what's happened to G?
G must have made a mistake. Yeah, he's had a big moment somewhere because he was well in front of AH, and AH now has the lead. There is Sooty Apex in the background, so he's reeling him in. There's Gary. Gary's got past Fury then as well. So that move has been done. Little Leach looks side by side with Fury at the moment. 4P5 on track. And Fury just squeezing him a little bit there. Yeah, I think he's realised Little Leach is actually alongside him a bit more, so has to get in the corner, and Little Leach just outbreaks Fury into the parabolica, but he's got it tucked up the he's got it tucked up the inside beautifully.
Great stuff there from Fury, judging that to perfection, and holds on to that position. Little Leach is going to have the run though, coming down the pit straight in the background here, or in the foreground should I say. We've got G having another look to the outside here of AH. These two have got so many battles coming into this corner. We see both of them going deep, hugging that white line on the edge of the track. You don't want to be doing that in the first part of the chicane, but thankfully for each of them, they both do exactly the same thing, so it's made no difference in terms of their battle. But this is great stuff here from these boys. G had the move on AH and was pulling away gradually, but on the last couple of laps he's lost a bit of time as G has a little look to the inside coming into Della Rosa. AH covers the line very nicely, and G's not going to get it around him for the time being, but G is really letting AH know that he wants this position back. G was chasing his first win here at Simplay. He obviously raced last week in Fuji as a reserve, but wasn't able to get on the podium.
He's got a good run. He's got a good run.
Coming out on Lesmo 1, and looks like G looking to the inside. Can't get that one done at the moment, has to back out of it. But,
Andy, one thing I want to say.
AH wide there, coming out of Lesmo 2. G's got the run coming up towards the old circuit here, Matt.
He has indeed. One thing I want to say is look at the man behind. He's reeling these two in. He was 2 seconds quicker last lap. These two side by side as they come down towards the Scullery chicane, almost in sync there as they clip the puddle and both have a bit of a twitch to the left. And is AH going to be later on the brakes than G? Bit of a tap on the rear, but no effect there. G gets it stopped brilliantly at Ascari. So did AH. Sutio in the background's got the gap down to 2.7. Now don't forget, if he passes AH, he will have technically won the race here. And this is what Sutty wanted. Gary's up to 4th. Little Leach is up to 5th. Little Leach and Fury have just dropped off the back of that battle subsequently, so they must have had a good scrap, which has allowed Gary and Sutty to get away a bit. One man, a couple of men we've not spoke about is Unorthodox, Peaceful and Argent. Had a bit of a quiet race. We've not really seen much from these three. These see quite in close quarters as well so far.
Yeah, it's looking like they might see a battle between these guys in the last couple of laps. Kieran Argent's currently lapping quicker than both of them, so he might be eyeing up that P7 by the time we reach the checkered flag.
The question is, surely now for Kieran, he's 92 points off the leader, whereas his teammate's only 59. Surely you don't pass your teammate at this stage of the season, surely. Oh, G's done AH somewhere.
He's got a move, yeah, he's got up into P1. AH, I think, got a little bit out of shape coming in turn 1, but G's now right back on. He's right back on the rear of G once again here, coming through Curva Grande. Is G going to try and defend the move coming up towards the Della Rosa chicane? He's going to think about making a move to the end. Oh, we'll see AH pulling out to the left hand side. Brilliant move up the inside, mate. Can he get it stopped?
He's not got it stopped.
He ever shoots it. He rides over the sleeping policeman and clips the sausage cab as well.
Oh, G's been caught on the puddles. Sutty's also around in the background. Sutty's round as I said he was catching. Sutty has lost it at the Della Rosa chicane. Gary now up into P3, and Gary will see these two battling in front. G made a bit of a mistake, managed to save it well from spinning around. But I tell you what, unbelievable. Get your votes in for driver of the day.
This is absolutely incredible. Everybody seems to be making mistakes now at the end of this race as the rain continues to fall. The standing water getting more and more treacherous. Are we going to see any crashes or late send-its here at the end of this race? Anything can happen here in the final lap and a bit as these guys come into Ascari for the penultimate time, but G finds himself back in the lead of the race once again.
One thing I want to say, Master and Phil have gained a place over D-Biggs for 10th and 11th, so D-Biggs has dropped well back at the moment. He's now down in 12th place, and I don't think he's got to worry about Dean Wasaki 26 seconds behind, but we'll have to say, Keegs has just commented saying, well done Emo Guy, sorry, well done everyone, sorry Emo Guy. So I wonder if Keegs and Emo Guy had a problem. I didn't even see Keegs retire. Keegs, mate, let us know what lap you retired on, so that we can get that jotted down. 'Cause if you got to lap 12, you score points, don't forget, even though it is only one, or it might be none actually, for 16th. But last lap then, get your votes in for driver of the day. Andy, who's your driver of the day, mate?
Driver of the day for me, I'm going to give this one to this man here, G. If he can stay in the P1 here, obviously he's joined the series last week as a reserve, isn't scoring points this season. He will be a regular driver in the Pro Series here at Simplay next season in the GT3, but simply down to a debut win and the fact that he came back through the pack and made some great passes, got himself up into the lead. For me, the only G's got to take driver of the day this time.
Yeah, I'm going to give mine to Gary. A first in race 1, currently third in race 2, and with his knee operation, Beth and Jamie have also voted Gary. I'm shocked Beth's voted Gary. But I've got to give it Gary. Hats off to him for what he's done on the wheel, with such a dodgy knee. I just think as much as G's drove well to get his debut win, and hats off to him. We've had good drives from Sutty, good drive from Mazda. Unorthodox has done quite well. Peaceful Exposure just passed Unorthodox coincidentally, but I think Gary is the man who has to take it for me, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, G! Oh, he's binned it!
G's hit the wall! What's happened? He's hit the puddle coming through the... Oh my God!
Andy, your predictions, you've spoken too soon. Gary now hunts down AH. There is a second gap between them. And can Gary get the BMW on the penultimate lap? He could be in for a double win. We head through Ascari towards the Parabolica. And Gary is reeling in AH. The gap's 0.6 of a second. Half a second now is the gap. Gary's on a roll at the moment.
This is going to be unbelievable if he can do this.
If Gary gets this done, this will be a cracking drive for 2 race wins. Is he just going to take the points though? Gary's on the back of AH. AH has had a wiggle, and here comes Gary round the outside of the Parabolica. He's forced wide. Gary leads. They touch. Gary comes down the straight now. Here we go. He's going to win. It's Gary 131 who takes a back-to-back win. And what a drive for him in AH, but Gary 131, he wants this championship badly. He has taken another race win. Like you say, Andy, that could be
the win that's won in the championship. That is unbelievable. What a finish for the race we've just witnessed. I cannot believe what I've just seen. G bins the car, coming under the bridge in where the puddle is, and then Gary just nabs AH right at the last second.
He's blaming you as well. He's blaming you. You said in the chat, oh my days, Gary 131.
Oh my God.
What a drive. And take nothing away from AH. I said the BMW struggles in the wet. Mazda, Peaceful, what's happened to Peaceful in this final lap? He got up to 7th. He's now down to 10th, and Mazda's worked up his way up into 9th. I said the BMW struggles in the rain. And I tell you what, Gary 131 has just driven an absolute perfect race. Kieran, if you're listening, please leave it up at the end so we can see the final order. Wow. I'm speechless. Absolutely speechless. What have we just witnessed from this man?
That is unbelievable.
And Andy, you said it.
Drive that wins you championships.
Yeah.
He's in agony. He's just had a knee operation a couple of weeks ago. For those of you who do not know, this man is putting himself through unimaginable pain just to take part in these races and have a chance of getting the wins. And that was a champion's drive. Despite a small mistake with a couple of laps to go, dropped him another 5 seconds back. He kept believing. The belief this man must have had to just pick himself back up and keep going and keep fighting back. It's unbelievable, and he takes the win by 1/10 of a second ahead of AH. You cannot fault Gary for his resolve in that one, and he's got the reward for it. G in the end finishes on the podium. I've got to actually amend my driver of the day. I'm sorry, G, but Gary is my driver of the day just for pure resilience at the end of that race.
I mean, you said that is the drive that has possibly just won him that title, and I cannot disagree with you there. He has driven that car brilliantly all day. He's been superb. He's been on it from the word go. He's been absolutely fantastic, and
he really has.
Oh, what a drive from him! What a drive! I'm speechless.
He must have thought that he'd had that win gifted to him. Thing is, the lead changed twice in that last lap, but AH must have felt that he had got that win when he saw G in the barriers. He also got a feel for G as well, because he looked like he was going to take his first win here at Simplay, but the curse of my driver of the day vote strikes once again there. I just can't seem to get a driver of the day prediction right. The only one I've got
the
right
fastest lap? Fastest lap, 48.1 from G, but discounting G, 48.5 from AH. AH takes fastest lap, so well done AH on your fastest lap result. What that does to the championship though, pending stewards inquiries at the weekend, is Gary now leads the championship again by 4 points after the drop score. Obviously this will be pending a few steward inquiries. We're seeing in the chat that there is a few things that people want looking at, and I'm sure we can get that sorted for them. I really do not know what to say about any of this tonight. Gary has. I think. Do you know what? I think we're going to have to get him in for a quick chat. I just do. I think he's been that good. We'll have to have a word with him.
We had there at the end though, it really was a fascinating one to watch. It was phenomenal between those boys.
What we've just witnessed there, Andy, and you said it, could win the title for people. At the moment, Keegs has now dropped out of the title runnings. AH, Kieran Argent still in it. Peaceful and Phil still in it slightly as well. Sutty at Little each, 33 and 36 points behind. But Gary leads by 4 points and he joins us now. Where did you get that from?
Don't know, I just got my head down and kept going as quick as I could, really.
How's the knee, first of all, after tonight?
I don't know, I ain't stood up yet. I nearly shut out my chair after that one, but there you go.
Well, mate, you must have been loving it when G spanned. You was reeling in AH like he was going backwards. It was a bit like Peaceful to Little each at Silverstone, and you've just managed to... I don't know.
I got behind AH and I thought, points, or do I send it? And I sent one up the inside. He blocked that off quite well, and then got on the power, and he must have got a bit worried and put a bit too much power on, and then lost the rear and come down to the inside. So then I had to shoot to the outside and change my direction, and just managed to beat and drag to the line. So well chuffed,
mate. Absolutely top drive. You lead the championship by 4 points again now. So last week's not really affected you. Yeah, back in the game. On the pad properly from next week as well?
On the pad?
On the wheel, sorry, properly from next week?
100% yes.
Mate, top drive today. Mate, you've been absolutely brilliant today. Well done. Andy, it's been a pleasure. Do you want any last words?
I just want to say, guys, thanks for joining us on Simply Motorsport. And if you like what you see, drop a like on the video. 23 people watching. Let's get this video to 23 likes. We've already got 22. Big thank you to everybody for the support.
Thank you.
Also, well done, Gary. That was just unbelievable. I don't know how you kept believing right until the end there. But, amazing drive. Seriously amazing. So well done.
Absolutely brilliant stuff then. Thank you from all of us here at Simply Motorsport. Congrats massively to Gary. Commiserations to everybody else. Good racing all night. We'll be back next week at Algarve, 8 PM Wednesday night for the Pro-Am, which is really hotting up and becoming quite spicy. And we'll be back Thursday night, 8 PM, same track for the Pros, in which is going to deliver some outstanding racing, I imagine. But from all of us here at Simply Motorsport, thanks for tuning in. You take care. Good night.
That was unbelievable, Gary.
Mate.
I thought you had no chance there. G just hit the puddle.
Yeah, I was then coming out of the chicane and I see him lose and I thought, hello. AH is going to have to slow down to try and avoid him, and just managed to get through Ascari a bit quicker than him, and yeah, that was that.
You had the wrong, because you went wide out of Ascari, but I saw you kind of kept it planted.
That's hard out of Ascari. That Ascari is the worst place on the track.
Yeah, the puddles there are terrible. But coming into Parabolica, you made on a tighter line, You just seem to carry so much more speed.
Hey!
I did try a little bit of a send, but I didn't think I was going to stop. I was hard on the brakes. I was just waiting for the arse to let go and spin myself, but luckily I didn't.
That was amazing.
Had to do it. Gave me a few more points, and points could be critical.
He fucking nudged you, didn't he, a bit though? He didn't make it easy for you.
Who's that?
Matthew.
AH?
Yeah. Yes, Beth.
Nah, he was alright,
Yes,
to be
he
fair.
He's good. He drives clean all
To
the
be
time.
fair, in them wet, it's hard to keep it straight.
Mate, to be fair, he made it difficult for G most at night. So you know.
Oh well chuffed. Pardon.
Oh, mate. Oh, Beth's just fucking smashed the kitchen up.
Good stuff tonight, Matt. I'm gonna see what these guys want in the party.
Yeah, mate. I've got to speak to a few people. Yeah, no. Cheers, buddy, and I'll catch you Sunday. Well, I'll not speak to you
see you
Sunday, but
Sunday.
I'll see you Sunday,
See you,
mate.
Andy.
See you, Matt. See you go.
Cheers, mate.
Chicken or fish?
Fish, because you said it were on top. I think we need to get a few people in, because I think there's a few people not happy with shit. Yes, the little leech.
Do you want chips with it? Or do you want just the fish?
Why? Yeah, Fury's having a word with me.
Do you want chips with it, or do you want just the fish?
What?
Do you want fish with it? Chips with it?
Yeah, well, fish, chips and beans, yeah.
I'm having to cook more of that at this time of night.
Where's everybody else that wants an invite? Okay, just add them fucking 8 for now. I don't know if I got Sutty or not. And stop that stream. I bet you were screaming at home, weren't you? Fucking hell, mate.
Shaking like a shitting dog, alright.
Why won't it let me add the players? Algarve. We may have to jump in a party that's already got... Yeah, we may have to jump in a party that's already got a load of all them in it. Why am I offline? I'm not offline. I'm online. Yeah, I'm going in now.
Right, come on.
Come in. Hang on. Yep, 1 second, babe.
Down.
1 second, babe. I think there's a few incidents.
Put my foot down. No, sort it out tomorrow. Foot is down.
Hello.
Down.
Maz, what are you saying stewards for? What for? What do you want me to do if he's lost it on the kit? I've saved the replay, so... Well, true. This is true. Yeah, peaceful. What did happen to you?
Fuck off. I don't know what I'm turning off. I'm doing it back on again. My chest is hurting.
Bless you.
I'm really tired.
Keegs has pulled some points back. You Boland. I just literally said that on fucking commentary as well about I had started to do quite well. Can we just have a shout out to Gary? Oh, peaceful. That was your lowest score. Yeah, mate. You've gained 3 points basically. Well, anything that needs looking at, just send me, don't forget. So, hang on. So, Sooty, you got out that needs looking at? Yes or no? Yes or no? So I know I know I'm expecting stuff off. No. Gary, no. Maz? For you or Keegan? But for yourself? Craig? No. Kieran? Keegs? You got out that needs looking at? Yeah, no. I can't tell you, Keegs. Keegs, you got out that needs looking at? Peaceful. Phil? Yeah, no worries, mate. So at least I know kind of roughly who I'm. Dan Davis is an Orthodox, yeah.
Who is that Dan anyway?
Dan Davis is an Orthodox.
Pro.
No, pro. Oh! Emo guy's asking about that one where he was side by side with you, Dan, round the Curva Grande. Did you two... Yeah, Kieran, did you two make contact there? No, you didn't on stream neither. Jump. I'll set the lobby up quickly.
I'll give him a minute.
Might as well drop on that one, that's good, babe.
I forgot about.
What's up? Why? Fuck me, Dean saved the replay!
Yeah, I know he has. I saw him through it earlier. I want to say earlier, I mean about 5-10 minutes ago.
That is a salty sender having some fucking sandwich here.
I did some sendings, you didn't even see him on the stream.
You sent one on me, Tay.
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Because
He didn't even see it on the stream.
we saw one when you sent on Fury.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
But we was on board Fury, so you didn't see that well.
I seen it on you as well, so. Ended the last corner.
I want to see what the kind of different.
Right, I'll send these to you now, Matt, I've done it.
No, you post them into group. Don't send them me, you post them into group.
I've got to send to put it there, or
Emo guy's not posting group, he's just talking to me on thingy at a minute. Because...
I just sent you the video. It just sent you the video now, so.
Yeah, you may as
I was
well
nowhere near him.
just save it for...
Oh, you can see a massive difference.
Have you seen what happens though when I get my arms out and I go aggressive? I end up binning it, I told you.
It's not here, it's not where G's next to you, I don't think.
Craigie, when I touched that wall, you know when I got sucked into the water on that side?
Yeah.
Because suspension it wouldn't let me out. I thought I'm alright here, it straightened me up, and I went to go and put the power on it, it just shot me straight in front of you, didn't it? I was like, oh no!
I'm probably not going to send out in that. It looks like we were side by side in the chicane, and then when we touched,
Yeah, I don't think yours is right footage,
my
Kieran.
back end just fucked off.
Right.
So it was just side rubbing, but I unfortunately ended up with 100 damage.
So simpler. Where do you want me to put it? Just say simpler.
In the group, not the page.
Just the group. Which one's the group? Private group, 49 members. That's the group, innit?
Yeah.
Right.
That's really annoyed me. I went to watch the drive-through replay, and there's no one in the pit lane, so there's no reason why my car shouldn't have
Yeah,
stopped.
I ain't got a clue why that. I pitted fucking well early. So there's no reason Kieran should have got a drive through.
Oh, I tell you what, Dean's got a shout over something against Biggs.
Damn.
Biggs actually taps his rear when he loses Parabolica 1. Right,
It doesn't.
so why is it that?
Doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
Biggs is a bit shitty tonight.
Oh my god, is it the shittest track ever?
What's this, race 1, Gary?
Common sense.
Yeah.
And then it's...
Oh, Gary's made Sutty look silly off the start line there. Sutty's wank.
Well, is that the first race?
Yeah.
Well,
Race
I
one,
give him
2-1.
loads of room because he nearly been smashed into the back of me.
Hey,
I was about to go right up under the curb.
What you see there, Sutty, is about as much of a gap as what there was between me and Craig at Druids that time.
Yeah. It's a good thing he did it on me and not somebody else, though, isn't it? Otherwise, we'd have been driving around in the last
The thing
place,
is,
Gary.
Dean's asked me what to say. I'm not saying.
No, I would have just had fucking damage and hadn't gone in the pit.
If you want it looked at.
To be fair, I did get 7% from that anyway, from where I come into your doors.
Alright.
Right, I'm posting them now for Phil.
on Facebook, is he just sending it to you, Mark?
You what, Liam?
What's this saying?
He's sending it me and then asking me to comment on it, and I'm not commenting on it. Just keep telling him to post in group. Right, back. Let me just. Here, can I have this start to pop?
Yeah.
Because you need a drink quickly.
After me practices, Gary, I'll take a third and a fourth.
Yeah, you were quick tonight, that first race.
You said...
Really annoying. I had the pace. I was in the 157, 158 second race. That extra drive-through killed me.
No,
I had my chance to get.
You were up to second or third one of them, weren't you?
Yeah,
I couldn't keep with you either.
I went in the pit lane, and no one was in the pit lane. It made me drive away through. Didn't stop.
Oh, really?
For some reason, the setup I had in race 1, it was horrible in race 2. The reason I proper slidey.
Them last 5 laps were wet as I've ever practiced on that track.
Yeah.
I lost it going down the straight on one of them.
I was gutted. I've
He's
seen
thick
it
as
and
fuck.
that they messed up the chicane, so I tried to take it out. Yeah.
Fucking died.
It's not totally my fault, like. I was like, why have you done that? Took too much curb.
In that first race, you should have heard me screaming when my connection went.
Mate, what was going? Who lost connection race 2?
Not me.
Right, lads,
Hey,
I'm on
shut
anyway.
your telly on,
Early
Phil.
in the morning.
Yeah, see you
See you
later,
later,
Phil.
Phil.
See you later on.
See you later. You be careful out there on plank because there's some black ice about. Don't want you tripping over.
You setting a quick lock
Try
up,
my
Matt,
best,
and then
mate.
Yeah, I'm
Alright,
setting
catch
one
you
up.
later.
Dean's a fucking bellend.
State the
He's
obvious.
fucking sent me the fucking video, told me to comment on it. I said I'm not commenting on it, and then goes, I'm not going to post it.
well, it's his fucking fault. Anyway.
What a bellend.
Can I ban him from next week's race for being a dick?
Ban him from the league.
Do you want just the race or quali as well?
I think that...
Do a bit.
5 minutes.
What is the race? Is it dry?
Drive to work.
Me and him,
Bit of
I'm gonna
light
go on the wheel.
rain, and then into fog.
Makes no odds to me. What we
Bang
do.
a 10-minute quali on, fuck it.
I think the only
Yeah, I've
event
just
on
watched that.
how great. I think. Oh, sorry.
How grave.
Fingers crossed, I can still be here next week.
If only I got more than 7 points at blooming Red Bull Ring, Gary.
Mind you, I should have got more Spa, so.
Maz, did you manage to get the replay saved then? Yeah, I've got race 2 replay saved like people wanted. Because I've seen a few people won't be able to save it. Let me know what you want looking at, Maz, and I'll have to have a look at it. Who was right? So who was it with? And is it just that one? True.
Wheel.
I was asking for advice. You what, mate?
You off, Craig, or are you having a few laps?
Yeah, I'm gonna be off.
Busy.
I'm going to be off for Suez. It's been sends. I'll do qualifying.
Yeah, a few laps. Nothing fell asleep on the sofa.
Hey, them ones. Oh, did we say we're in that car?
Me and Nat will pick up in a minute once this is uploaded.
Oh, that one.
Are you your league start tomorrow then, Maz?
I'll be.
Yes, they do.
It would though.
They're being streamed.
Matt,
I
what
got-
weather slots are on?
I don't think so.
Light cloud, light rain, fog.
I've got Group A cars and I'm in the
Alright.
Mercedes.
Group A, that's them ones that we raced, innit?
Yep, and then I've got LMP ones for 2 hours.
Well, I'm trying this car out on wheel.
Master, why didn't you just do what I do every race? In race 2.
Such it, I was doing that, did you not see? I was very cautious and then unorthodox just fucking span it on the curb and I was just there and I was just like, well, that's my race.
Total racing incident from where I was like.
Of course you'd say that, wouldn't you?
Pardon?
Gary, you in? Yeah. Everybody in?
Nah. I gotta keep it.